Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Family Law Talk, presented by Kirk Stange of Stange Law Firm, PC. Stange Law Firm is a family law firm in the St. Louis metro area, with offices in Missouri and Illinois. Now, here's your host, Kirk Stange.
Welcome to Family Law Talk. My name is Kirk Stange, and I am a managing partner at Stange Law Firm, which is a family law firm in the St. Louis metro area with offices in Missouri and Illinois. Well, welcome today to Family Law Talk with Stange Law Firm. We have an interesting topic for you today. The topic is social media clauses in prenuptial agreements, and this is based on a blog article on divorcelawyersstlouismo.com, which is a blog that we have. And the date of the article is October 20th, 2014, and the title of the article is Social Media Clauses Gaining Popularity in Prenuptial Agreements. We're going to get to that topic here in just a moment, but I'm going to state, as I always do, that the choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements, and that the information you obtain today in this episode is general in nature, and it may not apply to specific factual or legal circumstance. Therefore, if you need legal advice, you should definitely consult an attorney who's licensed and competent to practice law in your specific jurisdiction. All right, well, on to the topic. Again, the topic is social media clauses gaining popularity in prenuptial agreements. I thought this was an interesting topic. And like I said, there's a blog article that we have on divorcelawyersstlouismo.com on it. And I wanted to just take a few minutes today and kind of go through the topic itself. Obviously, social media platforms becoming huge. They've been huge. They just gain in popularity as time goes on more and more and more. I think Facebook has become so ingrained in society that it's really just amazing. I mean, Facebook has gotten to the point to where it's just, it's like picking up the paper. It's like picking up or going to Google to search things. I think it's so ingrained in the culture of society at this point. It's just amazing. From young people to people that are senior citizens, to everybody in between. It seems like everybody's on Facebook. And, it's totally ingrained in our society. And even Twitter, hashtag has just totally taken over. It seems like you can't go to a sporting event or some sort of entertainment event and you see, really everybody is hashtagging everything with their communication. And that has become, I've seen that even just over the course of the last year becoming such a common part of society that it's part of the lingo, it's part of the language, it's just part of what's normal in American culture here today. And it's just really when you think about it, it's just kind of incredible how Facebook and Twitter have just kind of taken over society in a lot of respects, taken over the way in which we communicate with people as individuals, and in which people really market their ideas on a broader scale to other individuals. And so obviously there's been a lot of talk about prenuptial agreements, and prenuptial agreements becoming more and more common. Lots of folks entering into prenuptial agreements before they get married. And the hope is that if the marriage does not work, that there'll be a framework in terms of how things will work at the conclusion of the marriage if the marriage doesn't work. And the hope is, again, with attorney fees, long litigation being painful for folks, the hope is that by having a prenuptial agreement, it'll simplify the divorce process if the marriage later ends in divorce. But now with the increase in social media becoming just part of really the lexicon of this society, with prenups, you see these things sort of merging with each other. And what this article talks about is this kind of new concept out there, which is social media clauses becoming part of prenuptial agreements. And so folks now thinking about how to incorporate these two things together, in other words, to provide protection if a marriage were later to end in divorce. And so this is a really interesting topic, I thought. I wrote a book not long ago titled Prenuptial Agreements Line by Line through Thomson Reuters Aspiratory Publishing. And I didn't talk about social media clauses in terms of being an option in prenuptial agreements because this has been a concept that seems to really be gaining in popularity this year, even after the release of my book. And so I wanted to spend some time going through it because I thought it was interesting. But at the end of the day, I think the important thing to remember is that certainly social media clause is something to think about in drafting prenuptial agreements. Definitely something to consider. I think a very good idea. And what this article talks about is ways to really just be kind with one another, not say bad things about next spouse on a social media platform after divorce. And so there's some talk and communication about that, like not posting embarrassing items about an ex-spouse on social media. So that would certainly be a possibility in terms of something that could be contained in a prenuptial agreement. And unfortunately, there have been lots of cases out there where things are just posted online through social media platforms that might be unkind to another person. So think about the possibility of a clause to that extent in a prenuptial agreement. And it could have other items as well in terms of social media. It could even, for example, have clauses talking about in terms of parenting. In other words, parenting items could theoretically be forbidden to be posted on a social media platform. Certainly disparaging one parent on social media theoretically could be something that could be included in a prenuptial agreement, since kids often get on these social media platforms themselves, and they could really view the discourse between their parents on social media. So that could be definitely something that theoretically could be put into a prenuptial agreement. But that is really the topic, which is, how can social media clauses be incorporated into prenuptial agreements? And obviously this is kind of a newer area of law, and so you're going to get into a real issue in terms of various states, how different states might interpret these clauses in terms of their enforceability. But on a practical level, prenuptial agreement is just a contract. So as long as these clauses are written in a way that isn't too broadly construed, doesn't violate parties' free speech rights, on a lot of levels these clauses could stand to be helpful to a lot of parties out there. So that is here the topic today. And as I indicated, if you want to get more information on this topic, you can go to divorcelawyersstmo.com. Check out the article titled Social Media Clauses Gaining Popularity in Prenuptial Agreements. The date of the article is October 20th, 2014. So that is the topic here today. I appreciate all the listeners for coming on with Family Law Talk with Stange Law Firm. Stay tuned. Our next episode coming up. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Family Law Talk with Kirk Stange. Visit StangeLawFirm.com for more about today's topic, or to put Stange Law Firm to work for your family today.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
Make the most of your holidays by celebrating Christmas at Biltmore. Enjoy a breathtaking tour of America's largest home, filled with shimmering Christmas trees and adorned in all its Yuletide glory. Then, don't miss your last chance to experience our immersive digital art exhibit, Italian Renaissance Alive, during its final weeks. Save with online ticket discounts at Biltmore.com.